Okay, moving on to step 16. We'll need some pieces from F. First one I grabbed. So F47 should be the easiest to find. All right, F47 coming out. Again, caution because there's some delicate stuff in there. There's our F47. We need 2 of F35. Ah, they are down here. I will say this is a decently thick material that these are made out of. Nope, we don't need F50 right now. You can go back in. So there's a second F35. And then F55. Can't count that high. There's 60. Oh, there it is. 55. It's down here on the bottom right, and it is painted. Now, looks like we want the paint to be up. And we're going to make a box. Looks like a box that holds tea, beverages, some sort of drinky drinks. Okay, so we'll start with F47 and get the F35s in on the side. There are 2 pins vertically on F35. One is offset to what is, at least on the images, the rear. So put that down and away from the graphics on the front, like so. I say to do that, and then yes, and then this piece will nest behind. Okay, see that in a moment here. There we go. They're in. And then on this piece, there's 2 extra holes. They should go to the rear, away from the graphics on the front. And there we go. We've got a box. It's got a little sailboat and a jet and a larger boat and some birds and some writing. And I don't know why that's important. But it is. Step 16 is now complete. Moving on to step 17, we're back on sheet F for some other bits and pieces. There's some numbers here. That probably means these should happen in some sort of order. So we will get F39 and the 2 F44s first. F39 is here in the middle. It's almost a gold color. Brownish, goldish. And then 2 of F44. Which is an odd little shape. Ah, there they are. They are together. The pin that comes out of the side is very small, so caution as always. And then while I'm here, I'll get these 1, 2, 3, 4 F56s and 1 F49. F49 is here. I'm going to set it over there, and then the F46s, they all look the same. 46? No, not 46. 56. Ah, there they are. There are 4 of them. They're all very delicate. And there's even a piece in the middle to make it even more delicate. More delicater? Oh, I hope they don't break. That did not break. That also did not break, and as you can probably see over here, a extra little bit came along for the ride. We will clean that up in a moment. Okay, so there's those 4 pieces. Put this back, because this is going to be interesting. And we'll get rid of that piece. Okay, so first we'll start with this. It looks like the golden side out. And then the very small pieces forward with the protruding top piece flush with the face. So, like so. So the one that's more to the rear is on the bottom. Like that. And then, oh, did I even get F54? I did not. let's get it. F54. It's 50. 51, 52. 54. Ooh, it's a very dark piece. With some delicate details. And that's going to go on the top. With the black side up. And the top is where the pieces are to the front. Ooh, this is not centered either. So you want to make sure the smaller side is towards the front, the same face as the gold. It will be lined up if it's done correctly. The face ends up flush, like that. Okay, and then I have a bunch of stuff that's going to go in. All of these F56s go in these 4 holes here at the top. Assume this is some sort of beverage dispensing machine, fountain, or teas of some kind. Fruit juices, maybe? I don't know, the image looks quite refreshing. And then this piece that looks kind of like a drain goes in this pin here on the bottom. Or it goes in, the pin on it goes in the notch in the bottom. It really does, I promise. There we go. Ooh, be careful. Don't do what I just did, because these protrude and you could break them off. So yeah, always try to, if you're going to apply pressure, try to do it in a place that's relatively reinforced. Although sometimes you don't have a choice. Okay, so then that completes step 17. For step 18, we're going to put this on top of the little dispensary thing. Looks like these pins on the bottom go into these holes here. Please go into those holes. Please be right. Be nice. Need to wangle that a little bit. Didn't quite get it all the way in, so it's tilted a bit much. That's probably tilted too much the other way, but deal with that here. That's there, and this one is here. And I'm going to try to put a little bit of force on that and get it all together, and there we go. We've got a dispenser. Step 18 is complete. We've made a little freezer and a beverage dispenser. What could be next? It looks like a basket. So this is going to be step 19, and it looks like it's all on B, as in Bravo. So, in no order here, we can go wild. We've got a B9, a B8, a B19, and 2 B10s. My goodness. Oh, and they're seem to be down here. So here's the 2 B10s. Be very careful taking these out, as there's a very delicate handle at the top of the basket. That's the 2 B10s. I need a B9, a B8, and a B19, and they are all clustered together here, which is nice, instead of having to hunt all over the place for them. Okay, now we will assemble this basket. So B9 is this piece. It's a darker orange. It looks to me like the best way to do this is to put the orange on the bottom of the basket first. I mean, I'm just guessing here. That seems to make some sense. So then I've got that, and then I can add the side pieces. B19 is I'm calling it the front. It doesn't have a protruding piece on the bottom. So we'll set that in there. We really will, and we'll hope that noise wasn't something breaking. It is a terrible feeling when you do break one of these pieces, because you're like, oh my goodness, can I glue it? Is it something I can glue? Do I have to order it? And if it's your fault, you get to pay for it. Okay, we have built the little basket. We have thrown the basket across the board for step 19. For step 20, looks like we're off to sheet G again. And we need a bunch of parts. We need a G17, which is this L-shaped sheet. It looks like that will form the base of something. So we'll set that there, oriented the same way. I need G8, 10, 11, and 12. Well, here's 10. G10. I'm going to try to put them in order. G11, G11. Oh, and there's 8. There's, bound. There's 8, 10, 11. The nice thing is they have different printing on them. And finally, G12. Try not to take the whole thing out, but it might come out. There we go. Okay, 8, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, again, looks like no particular order is needed. I'm going to, just because it's how the picture is, it does seem you should put the box together first and then put it on the thing. So G12 is here. G11 goes this way with this tab going into this slot. Okay. We'll put G10 on because G8 doesn't actually interlock with G11. So I will put this here and make sure the colors match. It's nice though, it's easy to tell that it's oriented. Easy to discern the orientation. Use a little bit of force on that. Okay, and then G8 is going to go like this. This is oriented the same way as in the image here. This tab will interact with this slot. And then presumably it all gets lined up nicely on the base G17 piece. But I would really like to get this in nicely first. And I don't feel like it's being very nice at the moment. And no, definitely not being very nice at the moment. Okay. Get that back in there. Like that to come towards me just a bit. Okay. And then we have to line all of this up again. That is like that. This piece goes this way. And we'll see what happens here. We just can't put a ton of downward pressure on this because there's nothing really bracing piece G10. So just be very, very careful and deliberate here. Only push down, and that is actually in. So, yay. And now this all goes on piece G17, which has some marring on it, but there's a few. Oh no, G17 goes on the top. Huh. Or is it the bottom? I think it's the bottom. Okay, I'm trying to line all these holes up. And it shows these 2 pins. Oh, there's only 2 pins. Okay, so that one goes there. I'm gonna flip it. I'll flip the thing over and get that at least started in that hole. And if you're a careful observer, you probably noticed that things were coming out of it. Not ideal. But there we go. It is together. Okay. Step 20 is complete. Oh wow, we're going to put all of these pieces on a base. So I'm going to actually move that up a bit more to cover some things so that I won't be able to find them, and we'll put the base here. So the base is D1. Let me find that. D1. is a multicolor base, and there's lines printed in it. So I was thinking this was a bunch of pieces, but no, it's just one. Okay, and so that's oriented the same way as in the image. And we're going to put all of these pieces on. So I've got the thing that was just built is going to go into these three. So I started with all that confidence, and now I'm like, okay, sure. Oh yes, it fits. Trust the process. Okay, that's in. All right, the shelving unit from step 11 has these two pins that are going to go into these holes, hopefully. Started the one, we'll get that lined up and in. Sometimes it just needs a little coercion to line up properly. There we go. All right, looking good so far. I like it. Just making sure I'm flush on the bottom there. Okay, next, this thing, which looks like it goes this way, and then these two pins will go in these two holes. Oh, that one went in very nicely. The frozen food stuff. Ooh, goes right against this one. So this pin is going to go here, which is right against that piece. And then there's another pin over this way. Another hole, rather. Oh, gosh. And I can't see that one, so that makes it even scarier. But there we go. It is in. And finally, the basket. Yeah, the basket goes into this hole. It just has the one pin. So there we go. The sub-assemblies we have built all along are now in their positions, having built a much larger sub-assembly of the convenience store. Pop that up for some detail. Glamour shoddy things. The bottom is not glamorous. So that is step 21 complete. We've got the what appears to largely be this first floor through step 21 completed. Here's some detail on it. Probably could use a little more light here, but things seem to have worked fairly well. As I recall, there was only one instance of reassembly required, and it looks like now we're going to move on to some other parts of this. So we will get right into it. Yeah, start with step 22. Looks like we'll need some parts from sheet G. Sheets are off to the side here. So let's find them. G26 is where we're starting. Oh, okay. So these are all down, or at least some of these seem to be down here at the bottom. Like G26 is here. I'm going to try to put them, well, you know what? I'll put them near their little pictures. Oh, that's almost intelligent. G25 is right here. Trying not to knock this big piece off. I suppose it might be easier if I just knocked it off, but we'll try for now. And boy, G25 does not want to come off. It is a very small piece. I'm going to try using the blunt end of this thing to sort of convince it to come out. There we go. That is G25 sorted. G24 is next, which is up here. Oh, it looks like a little keyboard almost. Oh, I believe we're assembling a cash register. Anyhow, it's there. It also is reluctant to leave its home. Now we need G23, which was right above G24 on the piece, right there. Oh, and this one really doesn't want up, baby. Also pushed out something down there, but it doesn't seem like it came all the way out, so it's all good. 23, and then G27 is right here. So we'll pop this out and see where we end up. That's G27. And since we're going to need G30, which seems to be a bracket, that is here. That is a very tiny piece, so be very careful taking it out. It would be almost trivial to break it, so I'll set it next to there. And then while we're at it, we'll grab B11 from sheet B. And we'll build the cash register. So B11 seems to be the screen. It is right here. There we go. All right, we've got a bunch of parts out. Now we'll put them together. Okay, I think I'll sort of start with G23 and then take G25 and get it going. Doesn't seem to be any particular order indicated, so I'll just slide these together. Yes, I will definitely just slide them together. They'll go right in, no problem. Right, no problem at all. It is quite a tight fit on this one. Not super thrilled with it, actually. I think I will use the little board here to take off some of the excess material that's on the face of it, and I will there's a pink side and a blue side. I suppose they're different grits or something, but gosh, they feel about the same to me. Let's see if that made a difference. And of course, trying to keep G24 oriented the way it is in the image there. And great things happening now? Sure. Okay, so far no great thing happening. But we're off to a solid start. I really feel like that should be sort of more aligned. Because it looks like it's not quite all the way in. Let me apply a little bit of force. And that's better. It's snugly in there and more or less flush on the side. So I'm gonna take that and then we'll put G27 on this side, although I suspect it might have the exact same problem. So I'm going to do it this way. It does seem like a little bit of force helped quite a lot. Oh yes, that did not sound alarming at all. Okay, and then G26 looks like it needs to be oriented with this pin facing downward from the keyboard, or I guess the buttons on the register. So I will orient it that way and give it a push. It's terrifying. And then G23 is going to be this last piece. It does have a printed side and an unprinted side. The unprinted side should go to the inside, printed side to the outside, and hopefully these three pins will line up with these three slots. Let's see how it goes. I mean, they're kind of aligning. They just don't quite want to all go together. So I'm going to risk everything. See if we can get this in here. Yeah, that's not going well at all. May not have been the best way to do. Ooh, let's try this way maybe, where I can visualize them. Let's take my glasses off though. Down in here. It doesn't look like, I guess they all are snug fits. All three. Just make sure they're lined up and then apply a bit of pressure. And one went in and this one's going in.
If you could see the look on my face, it's anguish, fear, for I do not wish for the piece to break. Oh, there it goes. It did not break. It's just incredibly snug. Very well constructed cash register. I'm actually going to try to force that in a little bit more on this. And there we go. Okay, so it did require probably more force than I would have strictly enjoyed. This one, I think we want to put the monitor on the arm first. Again, very carefully. The top of this is extremely thin. I'd say very carefully, and then I just push on it as hard as I can. Do as I say, not as I do. Actually, I'm going to, so that I don't really risk breaking that, I'm going to take a little bit of material off the sides here. Hopefully get it to guide in a little bit more easily, because that is really tight and a really small piece. And I don't know that it needs to be particularly snug or anything. It's just how these pieces have worked out, seemingly. That at least gets it started in there, and I'll put some force, a little bit of force on it. No snap that time. It's not quite flush. Oh, there. Gave it a little bit of a push, and it's now flush. And then this pin goes in that hole at the back of the cash register. Sure. Okay, yeah. A little bit of force required there to bring it in flush, and there we go. We have a cash register. I have to find my glasses. Where could it go? No, we don't know yet, so we'll set it aside. That is step 22, sort it out. Leave it there. All right, so move on to step 23. And looks like at least one piece from G, which is the easiest to find because it's on the bottom. A and G are the easiest to find. This is a G5, which is inside of G6, so use some caution taking it out. There we go. Pop this off first, and then take it out, because it is a smaller piece within. Yes, I will take it out. I really will. Boy, this does not want to budge. This is just how it's going to go the rest of the time now. Everything's going to be in here. Really tight in the frames. I'll set that aside just in case it's needed. I don't know why it would be. I'm actually going to clean that piece up a little too. There's some protruding material here, which might interfere with the fit here. We'll set that there. Ooh, and there's even some directions here that you want to put the 4 pieces from E together first, and then jam that in it. So let me find E. There is E. And this is E 15, 16, 17, and 18. Which 15, 16, 17, 18, they're all down here in the lower right corner. I will pop them out in numeric order for fun. E15, E16. Looks like we're going to build another box with E15, 16. Here is E17 coming out now. And E18. Perhaps pieces from E will be less troublesome than those rowdy pieces from G. Okay, so I've got E15, which appears to be horizontally and vertically symmetrical. And it looks like we'll build a box with these sides, with the pin here for E16 facing downward, making sure the painted part is to the outside. Just sitting here going, please go together smoothly, because that would be nice. Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be lovely? There we go. That it actually went in fairly nicely. Lost track of my orientation. So that's E16 there, E15 on this front face. E16 has the little piece protruding. Then E18 looks a lot like E16, except there's nothing sticking downward out of it. I assume that's down. Why not? Oh, same kind of thing here. The way the slots are shaped on these, I think, makes it so that they're not as cooperative. Now, this is E17, which goes on the top. So this isn't going to form a box all the way around. It just forms this sort of mini box. And what I'm going to do with this is get it started so that I know my alignment is relatively good. Because I have to be careful. E16 has this piece protruding from what is now the back of the thing. And I don't want to break that. So there we go. We've got a box. And now we'll put G5 in this slot at the back. This has to be done extremely carefully because the temptation would be to grab it by this top piece, jam it in there as hard as possible, but really you want to put force on this lower piece closer to where it's getting inserted. And I'm going to do my best to do that, and wow, look at that. Step 23 is complete. There's a little bit of debris there, which I'm sure is fine, and we will set that right there next to the outcome of step 22, which I notice isn't a perfectly aligned monitor. So maybe someone working at the store bumped it. Gave it a bump, and well, that was that. Okay, so we'll move on to step 24, where we've got C13 and 2 C29s. I think I can say with some confidence that the pieces from E were more cooperative than those from G. C13 is right here next to C12, oddly enough. We'll set that right there, and then we've got 2 C29s, which look to be dumplings of some sort. There we go. There's a cute cat. We're not to the cat yet. Cat must not like the dumplings. Okay, so the dumplings go here. The 2 pins on the side here are the back. So make sure the unprinted side is towards them. And let's see if these want to cooperate, and they do. Went right in. No trouble at all. I'd put these in again, making sure I'm aligned properly. And there we go. Step 24 is now complete. Okay, moving on to step 25. Oh, more from C. Good. Now I'm happy with C. I'm not saying that's going to last forever, but could last a while. Oh, and this one will require some glue. I will once again enlist the sticky dots from a previous project. Because glue is forever. Ow. Pushed that a little too hard and attempted to injure myself. So that's C12. And we've got C34 and C14. C12 was here. 34 and 14 are here. 14 appears to be some fried chicken. And 34 is something on a skewer. My goodness. I'll try to keep those together. C34 does have what appears to be some very delicate parts on it. And actually, I'm going to use one of the linear ones because, yeah, that length seems just right. Need a dot for that. We'll use a stripe. And we'll set it on there. Now, part of it's protruding past the end. I will fold that over in a moment. I'll probably trim it off after I get the top off here. Yes, the top coming right off, no problem. Had it and lost it. There we go. Push that down a bit and we'll push that side piece down there. And now these can go right on the bits of meat on a stick. Maybe that's yakitori. I will admit my Japanese is not great, but I would like to learn. And then some other fried bits here. And that is the first part of step 25. But now it looks like we're going to use this piece from 24 along with piece B6. So let's go find B6. And there's B6 right by the caution wet floor signs. There we go. B6 is out, ready. And it looks like the dumplings go on the bottom, intersecting with these bits. So let's do that. These just today do not want to go in easily. Those are okay. And then the fried or grilled bits I'm going here on the top, upper holes. Boy, that is taking quite a bit of force. That does not want... Oh, there it went. I was about to declare that it didn't want to go, and then they went right in. And so there we go. Piece 25 is complete. We will set that aside. Oh, I shouldn't have set it aside. I'll set it right there, because it looks like B7s are going to go on the side of it. So let's find those. Oh, found them straight away. Boy, this piece really wants to come out. B7s are over here on the side. Be careful, they do have some little protruding bits. And interestingly, it looks like we're not necessarily going to put the printed side to the outside on both of them. Both sides. So let's see. We've got this one is going to go like this, and then interlock with that pin. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it to it. I would not push on the pin itself, but on the surrounding wood. Oh, that one, well, it didn't go in at all. It sounded really good. Like it grunted. And then this one also goes. Oh, they're printed on. They're printed on both sides. So we'll just pretend I didn't make a big deal out of that. It didn't happen. It never happened. I mean, I'm not going to edit that out. Anyhow, step 26 is now complete. We've got a cute little thingy, like a display case with some dumplings and some fried goods. Okay, now it looks like we're going to put some covers on this from B and C. So since B is first in the alphabet, we'll grab that. We need B12 and B13. These are down at the bottom. B12 is the larger of the two. Oh, come out. And then B13. And be very careful with B13. These long sides of it are very thin. You can see that could easily become broken. And then C11. Where could it be? There it is. C11. Right here. It has a similar sleeve got caught there. It's a a little bit cold today, so I have long sleeves on. Although I've got all these lights on now in here for videoing, so who knows, might heat up and I'll roll up my sleeves. Okay, so that was C11. That'll be the top. So I'm going to start with B12. Looks like the red part goes towards the bottom. So we'll put that on here. Then we'll take B13, the little, what almost looks like a indicator of some kind, maybe a temperature gauge, goes on the bottom right, making terrifying wood noises. And then this one appears to be more or less symmetrical. Nothing indicated on the drawing as far as orientation, so we will forge ever onward, and there is our completed step 27, a display case. Move on to the next step. Oh my goodness, some big things happening here. Okay, it wants the piece from step 21, which is this. We're going to take some of these different pieces and put them up here. So we'll end up with this. So I'll kind of keep this oriented the sort of, I mean, it would be like that, but you get the idea. Okay, so we'll start with the this thing that we just built. It looks like it goes in these two holes. Actually, I'm not going to start with that one. I like to start with the one that's furthest away, which is the bit from step 23. Yes. Which goes here in this hole. And it should be oriented correctly. Which is like this, with the box sort of facing out from where a person might be standing. And then the hole is here for the pin that's actually on the side of the thing. And there we go. Try to straighten that up a little. And it looks like G21 is a piece that's going to be added to this, maybe to give it a backing. Yes, it is in fact like a sign. Oh, it's an ordering kiosk. Kiosk. And this pin from it goes in this hole that's behind the frame here. And hopefully everything will line up and be lovely. And it has, in fact, lined up in a lovely way. Kiosk, I don't know. Let me know in the comments how I'm mangling that. Okay, next is the register. Looks like it's going to be oriented with the screen towards the presumed operator, with this pin going into this hole. Just like that, question mark. There we go. I'm sort of cognizant that the screen has a very fragile bracket. Okay, there we go. So those are in. Next is this piece from step 27, the counter with the buns and the cooked goods. These two pins will go into these two slots. Yes, they will definitely go in with no problem whatsoever. Don't worry about those alarming noises. Okay, they're definitely not super enthused about going in. I'm going to sort of push on this a bit and just make sure I've got everything good and tight. There we go. They're going in the right. Ooh, that was a close one. Be sure to push on the sides, as I like to say, push on the strong parts. I'm going to pull this back out. I damaged that slightly, so what I'm going to do is use this rough bit here to do two things. One, clean up the bit I damaged, so it's not quite as damaged, and I'm going to take this, oh, can't see what I'm doing. Just taking some material off here to help it go in more easily. There are two things required to make sure that things are visible on camera. Oh, and also I did it backwards. One is that I mark it on, you can't see the marks, they're just off the visible range. The other thing that has to happen is I have to pay attention to that. I'll let you guess which one of those I'm not great at. Okay, there we go. We've got the little ordering kiosk. We've got the cash register, and then the display case full of delicious food. And it looks like there's two more pieces that need to go on. D12 and D13 will be assembled and then end up over here. Next to the shelves, or actually I believe that is the fountain. Okay, D13 is here. And then D12. You have some sort of prize if you count and post the correct number of times I injure my thumb. See about that. Okay, so it does indicate these should be put together first, because there is just a single pin that it's going to go into the back of the thing on, or down onto the base. I'm going to do that. That there, push it in there, and it looks flush, and then it's going in this hole here, oriented that way, like that. So I'm going to line that up here. Or attempt to line it up. There we go. Ooh. Actually went in rather nicely. And so there we go. I've got right next to the fountain, some sort of a wall or partition. Ta-da! That is step 28 complete. Set that aside.